And you know, half stepping with Marcus J. Thank you so much for hanging in with us. They in here clowning. I wanted to dedicate that one to all of his squad fans back home in Jersey.
City.
Boy, every time I hear Redman spit, it's what's up. Shout out to my man K-Dub down in the ATL listening to us. I want to give a shout out to Ty Cool and Throwback Lounge. Can be listened to here on these airwaves. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is a fan of that show. Ty Cool and the Throwback Lounge on Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. globalscaleradio.net. Show the brother some love. Marcus J, ain't no half stepping. It's time to go ahead and transition from the sports and fun hour to a little bit more serious stuff. We're going to take that transition into our missing child segment. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children would like for anybody with their eyes and ears open to keep your eyes and ears open for Jade Catherine Bowens. Jade Catherine Bowens, whose date of birth is October 26th, 1996, and she's going to be turning 16 years old in just a few days. She's been missing since September 30th, 2012. She's been missing from Boonesboro, Maryland. Boonesboro, Maryland. She's a black female who stands 5'4", 110 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She's missing once again from the Boonesboro area of Washington County, Maryland. She was last seen wearing a blue sweatshirt, blue jeans, and carrying a black a backpack. If you have seen Jade Catherine Bowens, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Contact them on their website, missingkids.com, or contact them by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678, 1-800-843-5678. Please bring Jade Catherine Bowens home and any other missing and or exploited child. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to begin our new segment that we like to call What's Going On? What's really going on? What's really going on? Big Rube wanted to lead us in this segment as we do it the first time, and we're all going to kind of round table it. The first thing we're going to talk about, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Big Rube is talk to me a little bit about it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna jump in and kind of put my thoughts on them. The first thing I wanted to kind of get into on this segment is the Boy Scouts of America. Big Rube, we talked about this, right?
Yep.
What can you tell us about the Boy Scouts of America and what's going on with them? As some of the listeners ain't know how Steppin Marcus J. If you're not listening to regular TV, you may not be aware, but there's some real seriousness going on with those cats. What's up?
Everybody out there, what's really going on? You know, the Boy Scouts of America are known for, you know, turning kids to men and making them, you know, pretty much growing them up. And they're also known for not really liking homosexuals. However, it's kind of interesting. Well, they don't like homosexuals, but they got a lot of adults in their group who like little boys. Well, it has come out recently that there's been anywhere from, I don't know, 1,900 files or whatever that's being released since 1910 with abusers as the Boy Scouts troop leaders and things as such. You know, it was where the male adults went to find their little next victims in the Boy Scouts of America. I mean, you're not going to see any girls there, so you're not going to see any women, and, you know, why not? It was easy access for them and that sort of thing. And basically what happened in Oregon, somebody was like, I was touched back when I was young, and because of that, you know, they found a whole bunch of files that the Boy Scouts kept on abusers. Now, they've been keeping these abusers for a while, and to keep their public reputation, they blackballed the suspected abusers with a secret list. Hey, if we found out you're doing it, you're on this list. If you don't stop doing it, we don't let everybody know you're on this list. And then, two, they didn't even report a lot of cases of abuse to the police. So basically, they kept their little thing together, and hey, here are more boys for these guys to abuse. And I know that sounds really crass, but that's really how it went down. Apparently, they had an ineligible volunteer files back in the day, and the Times reviewed about 1,900 files dating from 1970 to 91, And then they obtained case summaries of another 3,100 files from 47 to 2005.
3,100?
3,100 on top of the 1,900.
100.
So that's 5,000 files, yo. 5,000 files. And then they had to release another 14,000 pages of files because of the Oregon case, where 6 former scouts say they were abused by a scout leader in the 80s. They won the case in 20 mil. But did you hear about that on TV news? Nah, you didn't hear about that on TV news because, you know, the Boy Scouts are kind of powerful, you know. And then only till 2010 they were required to release paperwork about mandatory abuse. Basically, before 2010, if somebody got abused, they ain't had to tell nobody. Really? That's what's really going on? The Boy Scouts being protected? Who's protecting them? Good question. I wish I knew. So basically, now in order to be a Boy Scout leader, you got to have a criminal background check, 2 adult leads at all activities, and then training. So you're telling me that it took them, what, 100 years or whatever, probably more than that because I can't count right now, to realize, hey, maybe we should do something about these men touching these boys. Grizzly, what you got, man?
Let me be clear, and it's a sad, sad story. Sandusky story, Catholic church story. Let's be clear. All righteous thinking adults that have children, parents, there's a war out here on your children. There are institutions now that literally prey on your child. Real quick. My child's biological thought, it would be nice if they go to the Boy Scouts. And I went and sat at the basement of a church at this initial Boy Scout meeting. And I thank my mother and my family members for teaching me just plain old some ain't right. This is some badoo-doo going on right here. You know what I mean? And it's the same to say. It's a shame that you have to do that because, you know, what the Boy Scouts have done is they put themselves out as pillars of the community, this, that, and the third. They're here to help young boys grow up to be men, give them all the tools to learn out in the woods and everything like that. But when you see the typical type of pedophile, you know, I don't want to just put people in a box like that. But I was like, oh hell no, this is not happening. I say we're not coming back. You know, we're not coming back, and it's because you just can't trust anybody with your kids alone these days. Colin?
Well, I know this. When I had to do soccer for Christian's team, I actually had a background check done on me, and that was done right then and there. So, you know, that was my first time, and I'm sitting here like, really? For the Boy Scouts to be doing it, you know, like you said, it's Catholic Church, dude. I mean,
think about all the institutions
like
that
I shouldn't equate them to the Catholic Church.
Yes, they are.
No,
I mean, if you're doing any pedophilia acts with children, you in the same category. You're wicked. You're evil. You're nothing but the devil.
Here's the sad thing. The sad thing is that any type of organization that has access to children, you're going to see this happen. Whether it be the Catholic Church,
school,
whether it be the Boy Scouts of America, whether it be whatever that program that Jerry Sandusky founded, some believe for the sole purpose some believe for the sole purpose of molesting these boys. That's the unfortunate part, because pedophiles are going to find these kids. Now, it's also unfortunate that some people, and I believe in science, and science, I don't believe in science. I know science. You don't believe something that's fact. Science is fact. Right. Scientifically, some of these people are literally wired wrong. Like, their brains are wired wrong. Instead of their brains being wired to have feelings for adults, whether it be homosexuals or heterosexuals, their brains are wired to have feelings for children. It's not something that you can cure. Just like you can't cure being a man who likes women. You can't cure being a man who likes men, and you can't cure being a woman who likes women. You can't cure being a man that likes little boys. You can't cure that. You know, and the fact that you had these moralistic men or so-called moralistic men who were leading the Boy Scouts who let this go on for however long it was. I mean, there's records that, you know, there's
50, 60 years.
There's, you know, conflicting reports of this going on as long as 102 years since 1910. You know, I've seen that the records are as old as 1959. Depending on what source you look at, we talking about over 50 to 100 years that they've been keeping records, and, you know, 1,600 abuse victims, 14,000 pages of records of them covering this stuff up. And I tell you, you know, it leaves you kind of at a loss for words, Chris.
Oh, don't leave me lost.
It leaves me at a loss for words because not so much the pedophiles. I'm not saying that I understand the pedophiles because I'm not a pedophile. So, no, I don't understand it. And I support gay people, but I don't understand it.
Right.
So, but I don't support grown people messing with children. You know what I mean? And scientifically, I stand firm on my belief that they are wired wrong. And if you notice, when they go to jail and they come out,
they go back.
And do the same thing
fair.
over and over again.
Right? If they allow. All right, that's fair. And what I'll say to that line of thinking, or that line, that point of view, is that this. Back in biblical times, it was okay for me to murder you. You know. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay for me to have umpteen wives, and in some in Egyptian culture, it was okay to have incestuous relationships. We, as a Western civilization, we have rules. We have the rule of law, and what the rule of law says is that even if you're wired differently, you gonna pay the price. And for me, just me, you gonna pay the price. You best to be glad. You best to be glad that I'm not a parent of one of those victims, because I would be dead or locked up.
Yeah.
Big Rube, take the final word on the segment.
I mean, you know, to me it's sad. I was a Boy Scout for about a year, and it was boring to me. It was terrible.
It was boring.
You know, so I rolled out. But you know, there are a lot of kids who can't roll out. But with that being said, I know a lot of Boy Scouts who are very successful, and they were not. You know, they were Eagle Scouts and stuff like that. So it's not like it's all of them. You just have that few. And, you know, I also want to piggyback on what Marcus J said. I don't want to, you know, sit here and say, well, homosexual people and predators are the same type of people, because they're not.
No.
They're two completely different people, you know, and it's very important.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I didn't say that.
We're not saying that.
Allude to them
I know
being
that.
the same.
That's why I clarified that.
Thank you.
I just want to, you know, let all the parents out here know what your kids are doing, and you need to be involved. If you allow your kids to be doing something you're not involved in, then unfortunately, you know, it sucks. Just get them involved in something good, and maybe one day we'll talk about that on the show. But, you know, I'm out, Marcus.
And you know how Steppin with Marcus J. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, the rest of the show is going to be dedicated to the election cycle and some of the stuff that we've seen go on with regards to that. And I've got a special feature for you guys. We have a clip from the debate of Mitt Romney versus Mitt Romney. Marcus J. And I'll step and be back in a minute.
What's good, party people? This is Damon from Jersey City, New Jersey. And before I get down with Monday Night Football, I turn on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. You're making your hometown proud, homeboy. Keep doing what you do. I'm out.